Anita's life had fallen into a dull, predictable rhythm. Each morning she woke early, made breakfast for her husband, and watched him leave for work without even acknowledging her. The silence he left behind was heavy. Their home, once full of warmth and conversation, now echoed with memories and emptiness. She often sat by the window with a cup of tea, watching life pass her by. Though she wasn't old, she felt invisible. Her husband, once attentive and affectionate, had buried himself in work. Their conversations had dwindled to practicalities: bills, groceries, schedules. Intimacy had been replaced with routine, and now, distance. Her son, now in his 20s, was rarely home. He had his own life. Anita didn't blame him. This was natural, but it only added to the quiet loneliness that had crept into her days. Her routine was a blur of chores and half-finished books that never held her interest. Sometimes, she scrolled through old photos, lingering on images of a younger version of herself, a woman full of dreams and joy. That woman felt like a stranger now. Then came Rohit, her son's best friend, a frequent visitor over the years. He was warm, attentive, and kind. Unlike her husband, he listened. He noticed things others didn't: new curtains, a different hairstyle, the way she lit up when she spoke about art. At first he was simply a pleasant distraction. But soon she began to look forward to his visits. Their chats over coffee became little moments of joy. His compliments were small, but sincere. He made her feel seen. One evening he commented, "Auntie, your home feels so peaceful. I love being here." She smiled, but the words stirred something deep within. Was it peace she felt, or just a numbing silence? She couldn't ignore how her heart beat faster when he was near, how his voice lingered in her mind. Guilt crept in. She reminded herself she was married. He was much younger. This couldn't be real. But still, when their fingers brushed one day as she served him tea, a jolt passed through her. That night, lying beside her husband, she couldn't stop thinking about Rohit. Had she already crossed the line, if only in thought? As time passed, her bond with Rohit deepened. He confided in her about his life, love, and disappointments. She listened, truly listened, and he did the same. He looked at her not as a mother or a wife, but as a woman. That alone unraveled something inside her. She began putting more effort into her appearance. Not drastic, but enough to feel a spark of confidence. She told herself it was for her, but deep down, she knew she wanted to be noticed by him. Their conversations grew longer, more personal. His glances lingered. His words carried unspoken meaning. One afternoon he told her, "You always know exactly how I like my tea. No one else does." It was just a compliment, but it made her heart flutter. The attraction between them became undeniable. One rainy evening Rohit showed up, soaked. She handed him a towel. Their hands touched, and everything changed. They stood there in silence, the air thick with unspoken tension. Then, he reached for her hand. She could have stepped back. She should have, but she didn't. When he kissed her softly, hesitantly, she let him. And for the first time in years, she felt alive. Desired. Afterward, guilt hit her like a wave. She lay in bed, unable to sleep, wondering how she had ended up here. "This is wrong," she whispered. Rohit agreed, but he didn't look regretful, and neither did she, not fully. Days passed. She avoided him, avoided the memory, but the weight of what they'd done hung between them. And then, one evening, he returned. This time, she didn't stop him. Passion overcame hesitation. Their connection, though forbidden, felt like a release after years of emotional starvation. But the morning after was different. Colder. Anita sat in silence, the truth settling in. She had crossed a line that couldn't be undone. Rohit reached for her, but she stepped away. "We shouldn't have done this," she said. He nodded, though his eyes told a different story. "I don't regret it," he admitted. That, she realized, was the real problem. He left without another word. Her husband came home that evening, as distant as ever. He didn't notice the change. In her, he never had. As she watched him eat, she wondered, was this betrayal? Or was it simply the consequence of years of being unseen, unheard? Weeks went by. Rohit still visited, but something had shifted. Their talks were shorter, their smiles guarded. One evening as he left, he asked quietly, "Are you happy?" She couldn't answer. Not right away. Happiness, she realized, was complicated. "I don't know," she finally said. He nodded and walked away, watching him go. She understood something. For years, she had waited for someone else to make her feel alive again. But maybe she had been looking in the wrong place. Maybe happiness wasn't found in someone else's arms, but in rediscovering herself. She closed the door behind him and leaned against it, breathing in the silence, not as emptiness this time, but as space to figure out who she really was.